Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. It's a beautiful winter morning today. Everything's covered in a white layer of frost. The ground's really crunchy underfoot. It's got a really nice feeling to it. These are the sort of mornings that I live for in the winter time, especially when that sun's just breaking through the trees now. And the aim today is to hopefully get a few chub on the bank. Now, you can go out and catch loads of chub in the summertime. It can be quite an easy fish to catch. You can catch them on lures, you can catch them on the surface, you can catch them on bread, any baits. In winter time it gets a little bit more difficult and you have to scale things right back, as you do with most things in fishing. So today I've got two setups with me. I'll show you them later on as we get on with the fishing. So for now I'm going to rove the river, find some likely looking areas as to where the chub might be holding out, cover under the far banks like trees, deep holes. These are the things we're going to look for. Main bait today is maggots, just going to be sprinkling them into the swim to hopefully get some feeding. Two setups, ledger rod and a float fishing setup as well. I'm going to be focusing on the float fishing setup with a stick float and hopefully we'll get some fish. I'll show you the setups in a little bit, but for now we'll crack on and hopefully find a swim to fish. We're at a really nice bit of river now, nice steady pace, and I've got a good feeling there might be some chub around here. Bit of structure down there, you've got some weed upstream which is creating some slack water beneath the surface, some breaks. We'll put a few more maggots in there. I put some maggots in there as soon as I got here, obviously to see if I can get some fish feeding downstream. Got my rig already set up, set it all up at home ready. I'm fishing a little bit over depth at the minute, probably shallow it up a bit. Just going to put on a bunch of maggots. See if we can tempt a river chub. That's what I really want. I do love chub fishing in winter time. It really is a lovely bit of sport. You can tease that float down the swim. We don't need to completely race through, you need to be always mending your line. It's a really active bit of fishing compared to just sitting behind a waggler in the still water. Oops. It's not happening in the swim, so maybe two more trots through. And I'm going to have to move because I've been here maybe 15-20 minutes and not really a twitch. I had one twitch that maybe looked a little bit like a bite, and then absolutely nothing. I've not had any real indication that there's fish down there, to be fair, but it is a really shallow swim. I thought the fish might still been here. We've only just got the cold weather, but oh, and there's a fish. Just as I was doubting the swim. Just took a little bit of time. Ooh, it's a decent sized fish, whatever this one is. I think it's a chub. It feels heavy though. It feels actually like a bream, to be honest with you. It's not fighting a good amount at all. It's not just holding the flow. Oh, it's a nice chub, really nice chub. Proper chub, that one. Oh yes, that's what we were after. Just when I was doubting myself. That is a real solid fish. That's it's a chub of over £5. Absolute beauty. Let's just quickly take a look at where the hook is. Oh, he's popped it out. Well, he made my life easy, didn't he? Let's give him a rest and we'll take a look at him. Now these are the sort of mornings that I live for as an angler. Let's get these sleeves rolled up. Beautiful frosty morning. Frost covering the ground. And a beautiful, beautiful winter chub. Probably between 4.5 and 5 pound. He's not super long, but he's really thick built. It's just a really nice fish. Really clean, not a mark on it. Just took double maggots, a white and red maggot on a size 14 hook. Just float fish down the river. And what a perfect morning to do it on as well. The sun's just coming up really well now. Beautiful. We'll get him well rested and then we'll get him put back. Awesome bit of fishing. So we've let the chub go. We tried some a bit longer. It didn't really work out too well. I've got a handful of swims to try, maybe 5 or 6 different areas to have a look at. I'll just quickly show you the setup that I used to catch that fish. It's the Shakespeare Super Team 11-foot float rod, and I've paired it up with a Mitchell Advocate RZT match reel and a 6 pound line that's going straight through. I would like to go a little bit lighter line than that, normally like maybe 4 pound or 5 pound. But there's always a small chance of barbel when you're fishing, especially shallow rivers which have barbel in them. So that's why I've got the 6 pound main line on there. And then we've got a lovely little stick float. And this one you can actually adjust the depth, adjust how much you have out of the water. So you can slide it up and down and put a band on, depending on how much tip you want poking out. If you're fishing really fast flow, you might want it sticking out higher in the water. And then I've got my shots all bulked down right towards the bottom end of the rig. Because naturally these fish are going to be low lying, they're going to be near the bottom, they're not going to be coming shooting up, taking things off the surface or high up in the water on a day like today when it's like -1, -2 degrees. They're going to be stuck right down near the bottom, just picking up the bait as they're coming along. So that's my stick float method for the day. And then I've also got a ledger rod. The ledger rod is the Shakespeare Super Team 10-foot method feeder rod, which is what I use for my barbel fishing in the summertime. I've loads of barbel on it, so it's plenty strong enough. That's loaded with 8 pound line. Naturally it's a ledger fishing rod, so I'm probably going to be casting it right into the snags where it could be quite snaggy, and also a chance of barbel on the bottom. And that's as simple as that. Exactly the same reel as this rod as well. Mitchell Advocate RZT, but yeah, just loaded with 8 pound line. So they're both my setups for the day. Without further ado, let's crack on, find some more swims, like I say, 5 or 6 more swims to try, and fingers crossed we can pull out maybe 1 or 2 more fish before the end of the session. Sun's coming up now, nice and warm, hopefully it might warm these fish up a little bit. Let's crack on. Spotted a couple of chub. I'm really high up here, so I'm glad I've got a fairly long net if I manage to catch them. Just throw some maggots upstream. See if we can get any of them feeding. I can see them thankfully with the polarised glasses on. We're in. Doesn't feel like a chub. It feels like a bait fish. It's definitely a fish, so maybe it's a perch or be a roach. It could be a small chub. I think it's a nice chub. A small chub, should I say. Oh no! Come on. Damn it, it was a chub. Oh, it just didn't feel very big at first. It was not huge, it's probably about 3 pound though. Oh, how frustrating. Got a fish, we've got a fish. Oh, it's a barbel. It's a barbel. Just free line the bait. Whoa, roll it down the swim. Because I'd seen a couple of chubs shoot downstream. I'm glad I had the camera recording because I weren't even going to record. I've just sucked into a barbel, just free lined 2 maggots. I thought the shape was a chub. I've not even set the big camera up because I wasn't expecting to catch anything in this area. Like I say, all I did was I'd spotted a couple of chub that were spooked. These fish shot downstream, and I thought if I'd keep rolling a bait downstream without the float, because it's so shallow here, maybe I can pick up one of those chub. And obviously I did not. This is a nice barbel. It's a real good size one too. It's putting up such a good fight. I saw this fish even lunge forward for the bait, and I was convinced with the way it lunged at the bait, it must have been a chub. Oh, it looks beautiful in that sun. This 10-foot Super Team method feeder rod puts up with them so well with these barbels. It's got such a good amount of backbone to be able to pull these fish in. The rod really is bending double with this one. Jeez. God, I thought I was so confident I was going to get a chub from this bit over a barbel. Look at that. Right on the front of its lip. Beautiful fish, and it's a good size one too. Alright, before we take a look at him, we'll get the mat set up. Oh, well, I'd pretty much given up in a spot I was trying. Didn't even have the big camera set up. I'd had a few chub feeding, and then I spooked them when I stood up. So I just tried to follow them downstream, having some lucky casts, hoping that one might just turn around and take the bunch of maggots, free lined. I saw a dark shape under the water. It lunged forward at the maggots. I thought for sure it was going to be a chub, but no, it was this absolutely stunning barbel. Probably about, ooh, maybe £6, something like that. Maybe a little bit bigger, maybe 7. Really beautiful, pristine river fish. Like I say, just caught on a size 14 hook. 2 or 3 maggots I think was on there. Rolled down the swim and it just lunged towards the bait. That was really cool. Right, let's get this fish back, get it really well rested. Maybe got 1 spot left to fish, maybe 2. I'll have a little look and we'll start thinking about packing up. It's awesome. I've been fishing for probably maybe 4 hours, getting on 5 hours now. I'm about to go home, happy with my catch, a nice big chub and a good sized barbel, and I've spotted a really cool fish in this river. Now, I'm going to say the word carp, yeah, not too incredible. For this river, the 1 in a million. I might only see one every 2 or 3 years. Since the Environment Agency had just absolutely trashed the river, it's an absolute shadow of its former self. With it running so low nowadays, you don't see many carp. You used to back in the day. You never see them anymore, and I found one, and it's like decent size too, probably between 10 and 15 pound, and I found it in a little slack water. I pulled myself right away from the swim to get my gear together, ready, decide how I'm going to approach it. I'm just going to free line a bait down. I'm not going to do much talking because I don't want to have to spook it. It's in a little tiny slack water, so I'm going to have to be really careful. Just present the bait really carefully. A little bread flake, I think, or a bunch of maggots. I'll see if we can get it. It's going to be pretty cool if I can. There we go. Got it, we got it, we got it.
Beautiful river carp. Get the netting point bolts off quickly. Why is it not fighting? Oh, yes! What a fish! Does that fish asleep or what? Don't come out! What a carp! That is an absolute beauty. Look at him. He's just realised now he's hooked. Well, that was rather, I don't know whether to say exciting or the complete opposite of boring. Look, it's like I hooked him and it's almost like he either didn't realise he was hooked or he was so cold he just didn't want to move. He just came downstream. He was just about to turn to smite into the open water and I just managed to get him. What a fish. He's a healthy fish though. He's a healthy fish. He's not wounded, he's not injured. Oh, I think I got him, netted him at the right time. What an absolutely beautiful river carp, and it's only the third ever river carp I've ever caught. It's bang on 13 pound. Absolutely beautiful fish. He's fighting more on the bank than he is in the water. I think because it's so cold and it's so lethargic. We're in January. I just think he just didn't know what to do. I hooked him, he didn't have time to think. Netted him in the margin. I thought this was going to be the hardest river fight of a fish I'd have in my life in this main flow. But he didn't manage to get that far. He shot down the edge, managed to net him before I could get out there. What a beautiful fish. Definitely remember this one. Mid-January, a little bit of bread in the edge, sprinkling of dead maggots around it. Beautiful fish. Right, let's give him a drink and then we'll let him go.
So guys, what a great way to end the session. Not only is it a freezing cold morning where it would be a struggle to catch anything, I've managed a good sized chub, a decent sized barbel and a river carp that I haven't caught a river carp from this river in easily 6 or 7 years, and I only see him probably every 2 years. So that was an awesome catch too, and it was a wonderful fish, really interesting colours on it. It might have been an ex-ornamental fish from somebody's garden pond. Let me know what you think. It was a really whitey silvery colour. So what an awesome way to end the session. Thank you guys for watching. I've really enjoyed this one. If you want to check out the rods that I've used today that I managed to land those fish on, I'll leave them both in the description below, and I'll catch you guys later.